Pronto.
Pronto.
Ciao.
From Piedimonte Etneo in our courtyard or giardino.
I'm Matt,
And I'm Jen.
and today we're going to talk about the garden and sort of the process that we're going through on the garden side of the renovation.
Yeah, because that's what we started first. Isn't that amazing how that all worked out together?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's just a matter of timing. You know, the
Exactly.
construction guys needed a little time for the architect to figure out the plan and for them to get free. But the gardener was happy to jump in almost immediately and start taming the wild jungle that was our backyard.
Exactly. So it's been a while since we've talked to you. We lived in Syracuse the last time we talked to you, but we have the house. We've moved into our friend's house in Piedimonte. And yes, we've actually started some of the demo part of construction as well at this point. But what we've really been doing over the last few weeks, and when I say we, I don't mean we at all. I mean Andrea, our gardener help. Found him right away, and he's been working tirelessly here, sort of taming the garden. And so do you want to talk about what we started with first in the garden? It was like our first task.
Oh, well, I'm not sure.
Do you know?
I'm not sure if I remember, but ultimately the garden was just an absolute jungle. I think in retrospect, we started, and actually the one bit of work that we started ourselves was the Norfolk pine that's over there. Drops these pine cones that look vaguely.
They're fronds.
Okay.
They're fronds. They're fronds because it does have pine cones as well. We discovered this. You can watch we have snakes, mark video.
Snake-shaped palm fronds, and 20 years worth of them. I think had fallen.
A lot.
And so,
whatever it was, a lot.
So we
and they were crunchy.
We took a stab at bringing them somewhat under control, but it mostly was just moving them into one mega pile instead of I don't know, like 6 or 8 inches deep across the entire backyard.
Then they needed to be removed, and so that's the first thing in our sort of guest house garden that Andrea worked on, and then he worked on taking down the little makeshift fence that was between the two properties. I mean, they're all one property, but the two yards, and he's just slowly worked his way over. But what he worked on next was really trimming down all the palm trees. So these palm trees, they tend to, as they grow, to fan out, but they really should be kept upright. So he did that, and that gave us our first sort of bit of light in the backyard. He also tamed the jasmine that's going up our side stairway up to a back terrace. And because it was beautiful, it smelled delicious, but it made the stairs unusable. It had gone
another 20 years of of sort of people not taking care of it.
Because what we found out so far, we still don't know all the history of this place, but we know at one point, the last time everything was full, there was a woman living on the piano terra, the ground floor of the main house. There was a family, we believe, who that owned the house, was living on the piano nobile. And then in the side house, there was another gentleman living over there. So the parts that were in between, things weren't necessarily kept up. I mean, I'm sure everybody kept their individual parts clean and whatever, but the jasmine blocked the stairway down from one level to the other. It was two different people, so it wasn't necessary to.
Well, and actually, I said 20 years. We don't really know. I mean, that feels like there were people there.
At least 10 years ago, somebody was living on the first floor.
So maybe it's just 10 years of abandonment, but in a friendly climate.
Exactly. So we just kept having Andrea clean that up. He got a lot of it done. A lot of the trees that were dead cut down and moved out of here. And then what we were really finding, because the dirt here is nice and dark, it looks very rich, but then we had a rain, and because he had sort of disturbed all the dirt. It was lighter, fluffier, sort of like when you sift flour kind of thing. And then we had this rain, and the dirt settled in all these pieces of glass and shards. Like somehow somebody, I'm not saying who, used this as there's a lot of little bits of refuse in here. And so he's now working on just out of range here is a just out of range there is a sifter to sift through the dirt, so that we're just getting all those little pieces. It'll be safe for us to garden in here. I won't cut my hand open putting in some bulbs or whatnot. As he went along, we had tons of beautiful calla lily plants that have been happy here forever, and so I want to keep them because they didn't kill themselves while they were here, so maybe I have luck and I'll be able to keep them alive as well. But we just, it was too hard to work around them, so he pulled those all up and planted them in the millions of pots past residents have left behind.
Did you talk in the other videos about the rabbits?
No, I don't think we've talked about the rabbits because I haven't shown pictures of the rabbits. They're not alive rabbits. They've stopped aliving. But yeah, so we have been told that the gentleman who lived in the guest house raised rabbits to consume, like chickens to consume, and so we found a number of rabbit skeletons and
Mummies.
And rabbit mummies, and that's fine. I'm sure he was a very elderly gentleman. I guess he died while he lived here. This was his last place. I don't know when he died and if it was a hospital, whatever, if anybody took care of the rabbits, if the rabbits had escaped. We know that some of them have made it into this backyard. We know that we saw signs of them having been in the house on the first floor or the ground floor. But the other thing they did was they burrowed a lot. So when they were in here, or maybe even coming from the other yard into this yard, there are I don't know if we found them all, but we've sort of walked over all of the ground, and there were burrows where Andrea actually fell through to his knees because there were so many little burrows back there. So yeah, we have a history here with rabbits, and we also found out that there's a little I don't know, underneath the stairs here there's a little mini room with a gate, and we also found out that somebody had kept chickens there. So, and we know that there had to have been a horse or a donkey or something for carts. We know that some parts of the outdoor spaces were used for animals as well. So, kind of a typical thing built in the 1800s that you would have. I mean, your mode of transportation, your way of eating, and so even though this isn't a farm, we had animals here.
Yep.
I don't intend on bringing animals back. I mean,
No one
maybe
intends
accidentally. Yes, maybe accidentally. So we have been cleaning through. Now, should we talk a little bit about what we want to do in the garden?
Sure.
Okay, so do you want to talk about
No,
that?
why
I'm
don't
doing
you,
all the talking.
go
Matt's
ahead.
just here for moral support.
Correcting things.
Right. So yeah, excellent. So straight behind us, you can see out to the sea. Actually, Matt's sort of blocking the perfect, there you go. You can see between the two houses behind us out to the sea. So we're looking at putting in a small pool, more of a long lap pool. It won't be long enough to be a true lap pool, so we will probably put, you can put jets on one end so that you can still swim. But yeah, so there'll be a beautiful, not too small of a pool, but a swimming pool.
It'll be modest.
Yeah, a modest pool to fit in this backyard. And we'll have an eating area and an outdoor kitchen. Let's see, what else? Just really sort of a little escape from the outside world. We're surrounded by town and by buildings, and we have our little space here. You can hear, well, now they've all stopped. You can hear the bells. You can hear the birds chirping every once in a while. There's not a lot of trees right around us. Outside of town there are. So we are a friendly resting place for a lot of birds, a lot of pigeons too. We'll have to change that, but yeah, it's a nice little bit of respite in town.
Well, and I think the interesting thing about the garden part of it is just, when we first bought the house, it was so green. Back here,
Very verdant, I believe, is the word you want to use.
And now, everything's been sort of cut back
Mm-hmm.
and sort of brought under control.
Yeah.
But we've lost a little bit of the
the
greenness.
There was
of
some
it.
lovely ground cover in here that I would have loved to have kept, but if I kept it, then it would forever have been ground cover over the tree fronds that had fallen, and Sabbia dell'Etna that when we get little explosions up there, if the wind blows this way, that lands here. It's just like crunchy, thin, tiny gravel, which can make the ground more acidic. So some of it we had to lose. We will replace it. We saved a bunch of
It'll grow
irises
back, all by
and
itself.
yeah.
So
we're pretty happy. Also, I mean, the other nice thing is this doesn't have all the trees we would like to have in here.
right,
It has a Seville tree, which is a bitter apple.
orange.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, the bitter orange.
Okay. See,
Thank
I'm
you. Very important. Quality assurance at your service. A bitter orange. It's good for marmalades, but it's a more bitter. It's not terribly bitter, but it's also not like one of the best citrus they have here. So we can graft other things on it, and that tree is actually super healthy. It is like dripping oranges right now. I might try to make marmalade. I've never been a big fan of it, but I've never probably had it with the oranges that it made for it. We have a couple persimmon trees and what we think is a prune, but we haven't seen fruit on it yet. What else do we have? We have another teeny tiny little orange tree, and we can graft something on there. I would love to graft Arancia Rosa, a blood orange, because they are like candy. So yeah.
I think it's also interesting to talk about some of the invasive, and you could probably talk more to the details, but some of the invasive stuff that we had that was kind of covering up a lot of the plants and trees back there. The plant that's right behind us here, it's really flowering nicely, but that was like.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna grab one off.
All right, so that was covered with what all was it? It was.
I think it's got a few names. It's like monk plant, moss plant.
Monk plant. There was also, but these
We were very excited at first because we thought for sure.
Ooh,
It is
yuck.
dripping. Okay, so this whole thing will open up kind of like a lily opens up, but it is invasive and it's stinky. So, what I don't want in my garden are stinky flowers.
That are invasive.
Yeah, I mean, at first we're like, is it a chipotle? Because it has that green small thing, and then somebody's like, maybe it's a passion fruit. And it's not. It's and when it opens, it's like almost looks like the dandelion pieces, like when you blow a dandelion and the little pieces with the seeds go up. It feels very much like ethereal, and I don't want those flying around my backyard. I have to stop using backyard because nobody knows what that means. It's courtyard or garden, but it's not a backyard. And the other thing that we have that's semi-invasive, although I keep reading articles saying that it's not, because it needs the right conditions to be invasive. So most of the places you plant it, it's not invasive, but if you give it everything it wants, then it's very, very happy and grows. So that doesn't technically qualify it as invasive, just in some locations. And that's the umbrella plant that we have. It's part of the papyrus family, which we love. And that seems to be, we met our builder. We met our builder, of course we met our builder. Our builder's girlfriend, her bisnona, I believe, we need to double check that it was either her grandmother or her nonna or her bisnona, which is your great grandmother, lived on the ground floor for 50 years. And she passed away about 10 years ago. So we know for sure that the first floor has been abandoned for 10 years. But she said she, as a child, that she spent much time in this garden playing around. Her uncle kept the chickens here, and they played with the umbrella plants. She like specifically has memories of that. And they were in this sort of fountain looking, I don't know, you cannot see it from here. This fountain looking sort of cement. Looks like you could put koi in it, looks like you could put a fountain in it. But they kept them in there. They can be part of a water garden. So we've got lots to figure out. Next up is finishing the demolition on the guest house. They've already started it. They're going to be working on that this week. I think we should have all the demo done in the next couple days, and we're getting plans soon for the outside facade and the courtyard here, because we're going to actually try to get the courtyard and the pool and stuff done while they work on the house, so that while we're living here we can enjoy this beautiful yard we have. Not yard, courtyard. But yeah, so that's next, and that's our update. We're gonna try to do these a little more regularly now that we're kind of settled in. We'll maybe do them from different locations, but we thought it was great to do the garden from the garden.
Yep.
Yeah, I think maybe what we'll do at the end of this video is I'll just pop in some before and after videos. Not videos, well, maybe there's some videos, pictures of what it looked like before and after, just because we got some music and I can extend that in. You know, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you don't, but if you'd like to see, I'll try to pop some pictures in there. And as always, you know, this is really getting exciting here, so if you want to be kept up to date, definitely subscribe. If you click the little bell, you get an alert that will let you know, so you don't have to just like, oh, I have to go to YouTube and see if they've done anything. You'll get an alert that says, hey, there's a new video. And leave us comments. We were getting some really great people. We've had people who've been into this house in their past, in the past, not in their past lives, not that kind of people, although that's
You're
welcome too. Like, everybody's welcome. If you've been reincarnated, you were once the cook in 1855, please, you know, let us know. Yeah, so leave us a comment, a like, all that stuff definitely helps us get out there to more people, and now more people are really getting to see the fun of this project, and it's more fun because we get to share it with all of you. So thanks for watching, and stick around, and here come some more pictures of the garden.
A presto.
Arrivederci. Are you still here? You stayed for the whole thing? You're my favorite.